Servus miteinander. This is Lisla Mensing, the mayor of virtual Munich, Second Life's epicenter of Bavarian Gemütlichkeit. I also run the Tele-Dollar Exchange, selling you only the freshest Linden dollars. Remember, Tele-Dollar makes residents happy. And now, in just moments, you will enjoy the always inspiring Draxfiles Radio Hour with the one and only Joe Yardley. Also, pack mal's Drax, alter Bazi.
Hello and welcome to the Draxfiles Radio Hour with Joe Yardley. My name is Draxter Dupre. We are on summer hiatus, but we're doing special shows. And right now, I'm in real life, which is somewhat overrated. It's very expensive, but I'm sitting here at a beer garden. They have that tradition in Germany where they get hammered and then they go back to work. So for lunch, people drink. And I'm sitting here in real life Munich, and I'm sitting here with the mayor of Munich. And if you could please introduce yourself.
The mayor of Munich, yes, of course. My name is Stefan Weiss. Most people know me from Second Life as Lisla Mensing.
Do you pronounce it Liesl-O, or how did you come up with that name?
Oh gosh, it was one of these decisions that you make just in a second, and then you regret it your life long. Lislo, it's just sounded nicely to me. It has many vocals, Lislo, and so, and it's better than
vowels. Yeah,
vowels. Yes, vowels, and it's better than something stupid with a number at the end. But it's Lislo Mensing. Yeah, I like the Mensing, but there are not many Mensings left. So this account was created in 2006.
2006.
Yes.
We're right in the thick of it. I'm sorry I interrupted you. You're the mayor of Virtual Munich, and Virtual Munich has been around also
since 2007.
2007, and it's I really love it. It's a really accurate replica of what?
Still a very beautiful sim, even. In the light of Second Life has changed a lot, and the technology really is much better than many years ago. But I'm really proud of the people who helped me building the city. Then it took about half a year, or maybe even more. We did accurate planning. We did 6,000 pictures here from the inner center of the city, and. Many people contributed. I spent a lot of money, but yes.
So you had people go around. So this is the Marienplatz area of Munich, and then how far does it go out? Because you also have the train station, the subway. You go down in the subway in Second Life, and you can go. How far can you go? You can go one station into either direction.
Well, it was so, but today you can even go beyond the borders of Munich and travel to the neighboring sims. Mm-hmm. You can go to Meister Bastler Kreis. It's a very beautiful and large sims. I think 6 or 7 sims who are designed a little bit after Bavaria, Austria, mm-hmm. Switzerland. So they are right next to us, and so you can go by train from Munich, from the city to the rural area, so to say.
Yeah, but that's not realism. I thought your plans were maybe to
expand.
Yeah.
But no, we recreated the inner circle, the inner city of Munich. The inner city of Munich is in reality about 2.5 kilometers. The area that we cover, and we have to shrink it down to 500 meters. You know, each sim has only 250 meters about, and so we had to cut out, or to say different. We had to put in everything that is the essence of Munich. Mm-hmm. So We have the Hofbräuhaus and the Marienplatz, of course, and our cities the Rathaus. What is it called?
The City Hall.
City Hall.
I've been here for 2 weeks. I lost my English.
And of course the churches. We have 5 churches in virtual Munich. In real Munich, I think 11 or so. Mm-hmm. We just left some out. There's some space left. And important portals, for example, the Sendlinger Tor or the Stachus Tor portal and the Isar portal and all the main places and everything.
The original gates that surrounded the very original city of Munich as it was in
the older city. I'm not sure what it's called. And so. Everything is there, and many people who know Munich from real life, who visits Munich in Second Life, can't find themselves anywhere. They just know how everything is and get around, and just the way around as well. The other way around, people who know Munich just from the virtual world come to Munich here and say, "Oh, it just looks like it's like in Second Life."
And like again, we have to say, you said it earlier. Since it was built back then, it's all built with prims, but it's really loving detail, and I think it really holds up. Even though we have mesh, we have advanced lighting system, we have everything. And I have these memories of Munich where I logged in and my dad logged in from actual Unterschleißheim in the north of Munich, and we were running around there, and I did 2 tours with Egyptian architecture students who were really very blown away that somebody would build something like this as an introduction to Second Life. Do you get a lot of foot traffic? Do you measure the traffic now? Occasionally, if people just go in because they saw it in search or they saw it on the destination guide, or
I do counting the visitors, but I can't tell you exact numbers.
You don't analyze the
not so much.
And now we're interrupted by food. Schweinsbraten, a pork roast with potato dumplings.
Yes.
And
what's the kind of salad? Krautsalat?
Krautsalat.
Kraut salad.
Yeah, krauts. Germans are krauts anyway.
Well, they.
So you have to, this is basically swimming in sort of a sauce of fat. I'm just saying. I mean, Americans are not the only country that may want to look at their diet a little closer.
Okay, where were we?
Okay, where were we?
Traffic.
Right. So, Second Life has jumped over this hype cycle. There's all sorts of different theories. Where are we right now? There's this resurgence of virtual reality. You were right there at the hype. I imagine there was tons of traffic.
Yeah.
Tell me a little bit of the history. Why not?
Yeah.
How was the traffic? Did you rent? Why did people come? Events?
Let me give you some credit to the guy who actually was the inspiration for Munich. When my very thank you.
I'm putting the potato dumpling into Stefan's because I cannot eat carbohydrates. Atkins died, I think, of a heart attack. Anyway.
Dublin, the virtual Dublin.
Oh, virtual Dublin, Ham Rambler.
Ham Rambler, yes, he was my inspiration.
Mm-hmm. So when you went in, you saw Dublin and say, hey, wait a minute, I can rebuild my hometown.
Yeah, we can have our own community. I started a small agency that day, and we needed some reference work to show what we can create. And then it was kind of obvious to recreate the city of Munich. And so we started with that. Mm-hmm. And it, of course, was a lot of traffic in these days. It was a lot of press coverage as well. I even talked to the mayor of real Munich as well, and tried to get him.
That was what I was going to get next, because when you have something like this, the next step would be to go to them and say, well, this is the greatest advertisement that you will ever have.
Yeah.
It's a replica. Tourists can go in there, they can check out things.
Yeah, but these were hard days for Second Life then. There was
performance.
Some scandals. Now it was about the content of Second Life and about the inability or the impossibility to control these contents and the financial aspects of Second Life. If it were just say a web page and it were everything for free, and then the city of Munich wouldn't have a problem. So, but in this case, they after supporting me in the first place, they stepped back then and said, no, we don't want to be connected to this project anymore. And in the meantime, I think they just forget about it. But Virtual Munich is still here, and still a lot of people are coming to visit, and I get nice emails and messages every week.
Eat. So we'll eat. That's rude. You have to let me then provide context in the interim, just if people kind of slept under a virtual rock during these days. What you were referring to, and this is always what interests me when I talk to people who've been around for a long time. What was the impact that led to a decline? And you said it was more the fact that Second Life was scandalized here in Germany specifically was the reportage that was talk about pedophilia and child sex photos that were traded in Second Life. Not so much age play, I think it was, and that really shocked a lot of businesses, obviously, and said, we can't be associated with this. That was in 2007, right?
Yes, it was in April 2007, and in late 2007, I closed down the agency because no business customer wanted to be in Second Life anymore.
We have to talk about that because the agency that I want you to talk about in detail, what were your other plans with that, and what were some of the steps you took. So, but the other aspect that you mentioned was with the so compared to a web page, obviously for the city of Munich is a lot more expensive. They have to pay the tier and everything, right? Was that another factor?
No. They just all I expected back then. It was the 850th anniversary of the city of Munich then, and the virtual city was listed as one of the Munich residence projects. So we were officially supported, at least with goodwill, not with money, but with goodwill. And I got access to some.
So you were listed. Let's get this. So you were listed on the official Munich celebration website as a little link. Hey, if you want to check this out virtually.
Yes, in the preparation phase of the celebration. Then it was so in the 849th year. But then when it's when this bad press coverage happened.
And I'll link to it, by the way, because it's thanks to YouTube, which we'll never forget. this abysmal example of the worst type of gotcha journalism, exploitation journalism from the public broadcasting. I am ashamed to be associated with journalism when I look at this.
Yeah.
The way it was done, it was just, I mean, Bild-Zeitung, I'm sorry, okay.
Yeah, we were talking about stories from the past. I'm in the internet business since the early 90s, and it happened to me once before. It was about mid 90s when internet came to a broad public attention. And the boss of CompuServe here in Germany had to go to court and was convicted to jail because CompuServe gave access to the internet and thus to child porn. And it was in the next level. It was released this convict, but that day I was internet service provider, and I thought to myself, oh my God, just by trying to make a business out of that,
you're providing the access to material that is
you are a pervert. And when this happened to to Second Life, this kind of blaming and finger pointing 10 years later, I thought to myself, okay, once again, people don't learn. This is just a platform. This is just like YouTube, but the content is made by the people, and so the people are to be blamed and not the platform.
We have to speak up a little bit. So you were talking. So when this happened, you were listed, and were you then taken off? The link?
I was talking to them in the preparation phase for the 850th anniversary. Actually, I never made it to the list, to the official list. I wanted to make pictures from the city buildings from inside, so that you can go into the city hall and see the inside, what you can't in real life every day. You cannot. And I asked the city of Munich, and they said, no, sorry, just because of these problems.
Really?
You are not allowed. Wow. And by the way, we don't want to be associated with your project anymore.
Wow.
So that is a little hard, but nevertheless, we kept on going. We made it a private project then, and well, it still exists. The agency does not exist anymore. Most of our customers do not exist anymore with their Second Life projects. But the virtual city, it costs a lot of money, and many people spend a lot of time of their life and their idealism and their heart. So until today, I pay for the 2 SIMs, and
well, then you should be really awarded the mayoral. Then you have really earned the title and some sort of a crown, perhaps.
No. Well, it's just a little bit of give and take. I started.
Speak up just a little bit. We have some.
I started back in 2007. I started a financial service for Second Life as well. Tele Linden that day, Tele Dollar today, were Germans, back then Germans, but now virtually everyone can buy Linden dollars by phone and by other means, and it makes a little bit of money. And most of that money goes into the SIM tier for Virtual Munich. So both projects still exist. So more or less, Virtual Munich is paid by those who use the Linden Dollar service. So that's.
I was going to ask, before we go to that, you mentioned an agency, so you were actively pursuing during the hype days clients.
Absolutely.
How did you go about? How did you pitch Second Life, for example? Give me some examples.
One example was try to get those companies, those stores that are in the real world in the center of Munich to go into the virtual Munich. But it was funny. Many of these said, we have so much traffic here in real life, people walking by our shops, we don't even have a website. And now you clown come and try to sell me something in 3D. And
that is crazy. I don't need a website. Wow.
So then we changed
Germans are so...
Well, this is... Oh, come on.
I know.
This is some years ago.
I know. But still.
And so we changed the business model a little bit. But nevertheless, of course, we approached many other normal companies as well and tried to sell them virtual subsidiaries and virtual shops. And in some cases we succeeded, and we had some really nice sims built with our own artists, 3D artists and graphics and 3D programmers. And external people, of course, as well. It's just like it works in Second Life.
Yeah.
But then I had to let them go after
your employees.
My employees, yeah. I had to send them away.
What is your? We talked about this last year. What is your sense of who, when you approach someone? I mean, after a while, I think Second Lifers get a certain expertise, like a spider sense. Who could be, interested in something, and who's never gonna be interested in something like that? What did you learn about either the kind of personality or the type of business that was where it made more sense? Or I think more personality, because my experience is it has nothing to do with age. People always say, "Oh yeah, you digital natives, you know everything. I'm too old." That's BS. I know a lot of old people in Second Life, older people who it has something to do with an openness of personality to kind of give it a shot or something.
Well, in the hype time of Second Life, we try to persuade the companies to be present in Second Life, to get a 3D shop, something like an extension to the normal web shop, something what you can experience in 3D in a virtual world, in particular in a social virtual world, not just a 3D space, but something you can share with other people. Mm-hmm. We had words like avatar-based shopping and so on. Mm-hmm. I still think that there's a point in it, but Second Life does not have the reach, does not reach enough people to make it useful for the most companies to spend money.
No, I understand, but I was gonna ask, back then, who do you think, because there's always in an institution or a company, there's one person who is, wow, I understand it intuitively, and others, what? I don't understand it. And then you break it down and say, look, it's a simulation, it's a replica of this, you can reach the globe, blah, blah, blah. It's not so much, my question is not so much the does it make sense from a business perspective, but just sort of, did you run into these problems where just from a sheer personality level, somebody said, I don't understand, it's bullshit. Little people walking around,
maybe that makes it easier for me to grasp. Back then, it was not different than today. Most people think this is stupid, it's just a waste of money, and some are absolutely crazed about it. And I think today it may be a little bit easier, because people got used to 3D games and have fun in the internet and spend a lot of time sitting in front of the computer. These have grown up during the last 10 years or so. But still it's mainly business driven. So those people who can spend money without having the need to earn a lot of money are mostly in the arts and from official public services or so, I'm not so sure, museums, and even those are taken accountable for the reach they have. I like Second Life very much because of the creativity of the people and interactive computer arts, and I'm not sure how many official sources are there who give money for these kinds of projects.
Okay, then let's stick with this topic. So today, going forward, I know exactly what you're saying. So it's the argument when you pitch it to someone, hey, your organization would benefit greatly. They say, well, how many people are in there? How many people do visit? Okay.
You cannot argument with quality or with things that are impossible in the web.
Yeah.
You always
you always
have to compete about, 2 million eyeballs cost me this amount of money in the web, and this amount of money in Second Life. Can I even reach this?
Mm-hmm. Okay, so then you would be even now, and then going forward, so now we have all these other fancy schmancy big things, mesh, we have advanced lighting system. Even now and going forward with SL 2.0, let's call it SL 2.0, that they're building.
Yes, I heard about it.
Yeah, for 2016, which will be, and I've talked to some of the developers and I've seen what they're capable of doing. I'm super psyched about this. If they retain the magic, and to me personally, the magic is the kind of creative freedom that you have. and maybe they rethink
the social aspect.
And if they rethink the business model in terms of land, which they now have the opportunity when they build something new, maybe they don't charge for land, or they charge less and have it get the revenue over sales tax, maybe, I don't know. But anyway, my question to you, when are you still are you hopeful, optimistic about, let's say SL 2.0 is super shiny, all the problems that bug us, the lag, the fact that we can only have 20 people on the sim,
that it's
problem. Not on a mobile.
That's one of the problems, yes.
So what problems do they have to solve before you think that you can go back and go to the city of Munich and say, hey, now I have something really cool for you guys?
The accessibility, I think the two main issues keep most people away from Second Life, from just trying it at least. It's the fact that you have to download and install the viewer. And the other one is that you cannot hold events in Second Life that are able to pull a huge crowd in there. I'm thinking of maybe a Rihanna concert or something like that.
Or even the Oktoberfest that you guys are doing, which is awesome.
Even a real Oktoberfest where maybe 1,000 or 2,000 or 5,000 or 10,000 people can attend. Well, Oktoberfest is something special, but such a pop star giving maybe for money a concert in this platform is absolutely impossible today. I issued a Jira ticket 10,000 years ago.
About what?
About this and how I think we could come over this, but maybe it's gone with the old Jira system. But they have a new one.
Did you?
I heard you from your podcast that they have a new Jira system.
It's open for business. You can resubmit it. But wait a minute, did you actually tell them how to fix it or something?
Well, not actually. I said that this is a problem, and I guess I made a suggestion what I think could help to make it with the old system, but I think they are the approach now to rebuild a completely new system with new IT architecture and new thing is maybe a better approach.
Yes, the only way to go forward. Yeah. And
I told them how to come over the problem that you cannot have a virtual beer tent with 10,000 people in it. It's too crowded.
It's too crowded in real life. I don't want. I wouldn't like that replicated in Second Life. Stupid beer tent with Australians drunk, smashing my head with a.
Some of them, in special the girls, are very nice.
See that, but now with the Oculus, that would be actually pretty cool if with all the gear, and I would be in Second Life Oktoberfest and some Australian guys, and I have a tactical feedback thing on my head.
I might come back.
Okay, but so these are the things that have to be solved, and another. Would you then think, if all these problems are solved, the lag, the business model, and then maybe there are people in there, do you think, because this is what I run into all the time, and I'm very enthusiastic, and I also think that everyone could have a tremendously enriching experience through something like Second Life. But still, Philip Rosedale is now again running around saying 1 billion people. Everybody says 1 billion people. The guy from Oculus says 1 billion people. But do you really believe that when we go out here, because I run into this opposition every day, and the Silicon Valley people don't believe me, but I live in the real world. I go down the street and say, would you strap this goggles on, or would you? No, I wouldn't. I don't need it. They say, I have Skype for I have Skype for connecting. I have my email. I have my chat. That's all I need.
If I add that, today people sit in front of the TV and use their mobile phones and their tablets, and maybe even the laptop is in addition. Why not have
have Germany have the game on Sunday when Germany finally becomes world's champion of soccer. Will become.
Yeah, this will run after we have already become it, so you can.
Then and I'm at home because I have to. I don't know, for a good reason. I have to be alone.
Yeah.
Then I strap this thing off and I sit in a room with 20 other people.
Exactly.
And we have this event with all these.
It's a common experience. It's a shared experience.
That's the point. That's why people go to cinema as well.
Yeah.
Not just because it's a big screen. Maybe that could be a reason.
That to me is also really the number one selling point. But then to paraphrase Pamela, who just rerun it, she said, "Well, I have my Skype or Google Hangout, and then I can even show them my knitting. So it's like, huh?
Is this something pervert? What's a
No, knitting is stricken.
Oh, that. Sorry.
She's a knitting circle.
I don't do knitting. Not with you.
Let's call the ID. There's another Second Life scandal, and it's not even in Second Life. No, but she would say she doesn't need it. I mean, for me, it's simple. For me, if I'm super convinced, if I would sit her down in a Second Life, in a hypothetical Second Life where everything works just seamless, and she has that experience, then she would be, wow, this is really cool. This is just really, I really feel like I'm being there. But short of that, without experiencing that, people, it's very hard for people to understand it. What a virtual world. Let's talk about virtual worlds. What a virtual world will provide, and that's why I also think that whatever Facebook is building might have the same obstacles. What do you think? What do you think about Facebook? They're super confident. They say we have 1 billion users, and if we just make a metaverse out of what we have now, they're all going to be in there.
Maybe it will look just like Lively from
Google. Lively was a great concept.
Yeah, with just small islands where people can meet. And if this happens in 3D, yeah, why not? I liked from the idea of low barrier. I liked Cloud's Party as well.
Everybody loved Cloud Party, but that's the example. Why did they not succeed? They were saying,
they didn't advertise it. Nobody really knew about the Cloud Party. It was
that's a Silicon Valley disease. They think
early beta, and really nobody knew about it. And well, they had several technical issues still to solve. Do you know why they were bought by Yahoo?
I have no idea.
But we can ask our listeners.
Yeah. Listeners, what do you think?
We give out half of a dumpling?
Maybe Yahoo is the other the unknown player who's building something in secret that will overrun everything. Yeah, I mean, this is still such an interesting question. Why is the concept of a virtual world not gaining traction? Because when you mentioned Lively, what comes to mind earlier actually was Twinity. Twinity is actually still, I mean, it's still unbelievable. I mean, this is the real question. People ask, is Second Life still around? The question should be, is Twinity still around? And yes, it is. I checked it. I didn't log in, but I looked at the website. So that concept, I mean, that was similar to what you or Joe is doing with Berlin, or others, actually the guys from New Berlin more than Joe, because it's historical. They said, we're gonna beat Second Life because we're gonna not do all the fantasy stuff. We're gonna do the real world, and people will want to live in an apartment in London, in Manhattan.
Yeah. Didn't Sony try something with
Sony Home?
With Sony Home, with that, where they said, okay, people don't want to have a complete world; they just want to have a room where they can meet. We'll see. It's a single purpose.
There was a thing called Hangout something.
No,
that's Google Hangout. No. What was that called?
Well, people can just now Skype in. Call Drax. Nobody calls him. Call him now.
Wait, I'm just thinking there was one thing that also went under, and I forgot what it was called, but they actually did only have a room. You could furnish the room. People could come in the room. There was no voice, but you could drag in, for example, YouTube and other web content. and that was before Second Life had shared media. I forgot the name what it was, but you know what was hilarious because their tagline was "Get a room." You understand what that means, right? No, in English you say "get a room" is like when you're like in public, when you're like kissing and be really intimate and
Hauptsache Kapitz.
exactly. The listeners are learning Bavarian. Exactly. So that tagline, I think maybe that's what destroyed that business. But yeah, it's just I would like to buy the hype.
And people who
That's you can totally hear that. That's Schweinsbraten pork roast.
that's
The crunchy outside.
it's very crunchy. So,
I'm looking at the clock.
we wanted
It's
to do
almost
20
1
minutes, yes.
Can we do a little bit more, a few more minutes, or you guys have to leave right away?
Yeah, we have to leave it.
Okay, then Jesus Christ. Okay, just in closing, one thing that you absolutely, and you said it. You said a lot of stuff, but
Keep on questioning.
what do you love most about Second Life? What do you hate most about Second Life?
I like very much the art projects. That's where I can spend hours and hours just visiting sims that are created beautifully, that are interactive, that are funny, that are unusual. That is art.
It's a complete separate category. I mean, it's
Yes.
immersive art, you know. And,
Yes, that's something that is
It's
not
amazing.
It's not possible in real life, and here is the space for it. It's hard to monetize, but this is what I really like.
well, it's hard to
about it.
monetize in real life.
It is
I mean,
hard
an art gallery.
Yes, yeah, and several other things I like, but this is maybe for me the most important, most interesting part.
Maybe that's the destiny. That's the niche where people can really thrive, expressing themselves.
And what
What do you hate most, other than your Telelinden email that you sent me back then when they won it? Real quick, because I want to have this on tape. Can you explain really quickly, in 1 minute, what the Linden business is about? Because I don't understand it. I always buy, I buy directly from them.
within the browser.
Yeah, who's the market for you? Who buys the Lindens? People who have no credit card.
Second Life, yes. Second Life, Linden Lab. This is American products from American company made for American people, and there is still somebody outside, yes,
Really?
using this thing, and in particular the Europeans like Second Life, but most of them don't have credit cards. Most of them do not have appropriate PayPal accounts, and Linden Lab. I'm not sure how the current status is, but for many years did not really offer a solution for people who want to spend money within a Second Life, buy a Linden dollar for that purpose. And so we were there very early, offering several ways of payment, in particular from a earlier business I had experience with paying by phone, and it is until today a way that many people really like to use. Just pick up the phone and buy some just for small amounts of money, and impulsive buys when I say, oh yes, I want to have this and I just need $200 Linden for that.
So they're in world, they see something and then they, oh shit, I don't have the Linden dollars. They just call the number and they get the Linden dollars.
Yes, and within seconds they have the Linden dollars. It's an expensive way to buy because in Germany you have to pay tax on this. So 20% goes off to the government, and then more, even 30% more go to the telephone company. So it's much cheaper, much better to buy Linden dollars, for example, by wiring the money to us, or using a credit card or some kind of prepaid card. That's very popular, to go to a store, buy a prepaid card for maybe 100 euros or so, and then spend 10, 20 or $30. It's anonymous. Many people like that, and it's stored money as well.
Well, how is that for an abrupt ending? But the Germans allow their employees only 1 hour lunch break and a maximum of 2 beers during that break. Perhaps that's why they make the finest cars, tools, and win the World Cup. So that was Stefan Weiss and the first iteration of our little summer mini-series, Lunch with a Lifer. We have 2 more coming up before we go back to regular live-to-tape shows with Joe come August 8th. More on Stefan, aka Lieslo Mensing, and his work on the blog. Now, as I say every week for SL News, and there is plenty, for instance, the return of the cornfield. Yep. Please read the blogs that we read. They're listed in the sidebar. You can support the show by taking out a voluntary subscription. We have awesome little devices that accept your money, a vintage microphone, and an on-air sign that lights up when you feed it. Ping us in World for that, and please frequent the merchants that advertise with us as well. Don't forget to put your opinion on the blog. Don't forget to leave a voicemail. Vic Forcella called us, by the way, and if you don't know who he is, well, you have to tune in next week. Thanks for listening. Next week, we're back with part 2 of Lunch with a Lifer. Bye.
The Drax Files Radio Hour with Joe Yardley is a weekly production of Basic Drax Entertainment. The show is supported by Bleep Motion, SL Go By On Live, Stitcher, Bot Girls Identity Circus, Carvel Design, Vika Creations, Humanoid Animations, Escapades, Botanical, Death Row Designs, Nantra, Angel Red Couture, Fallen Gods Incorporated, What's Next, Avacon, and Landscapes Unlimited. Contact the show via Skype, Drax Files, Avatar Drax Files, or email radio@draxfiles.com.